Hi everyone, my name is Dadish Mahajan and today I am going to present my internship capstone project titled Real Time Food Delivery Application. First of all, I would like to thank my internship mentors and WebStack Academy team for giving me this opportunity to learn full stack web app development by working on real world project. The project that I developed is a complete food delivery web application. It is built using MERN stack, which stands for Web MongoDB, Express.js, React.js, and Node.js. Along with the MERN stack, I also use Socket.io, which helps me to provide real-time communication between customers and restaurants. Nowadays, many food delivery applications like Swiggy, Zomato provide real-time updates to the customer. For example, when the restaurant accepts an order or starts preparing the food, the customer immediately receives the update. Now, I wanted to build a similar system where user can place order online and receive live order status without refreshing the page. To achieve this, I joined this internship. During this internship, I learned many few new technologies and gained practical experience in front-end development, back-end development, database management, API development, user authentication, and real-time communication. This internship helped me to understand how a complete web application is developed from scratch and how different technologies work together to solve real-world problems. In today's presentation, I am going to explain the objective of my internship, the problem statement, the technologies that I used in the system architecture, and the implementation details, challenges that I faced, and finally, I will demonstrate the working of my application. So let's begin with the internship objectives. In this internship, my main objective was to learn how real software applications were developed in the industry. In colleges, we mostly learn programming concepts and theory, but during this internship, I got the opportunity to apply that knowledge by developing a complete full stack project. The first objective was to learn full stack web development. A full stack developer works on the front end, both on the front end and the back end of the application. For the front end, I used React.js to create a responsive and user-friendly web pages. For the backend, I used Node.js and Express.js to develop REST APIs that can handle user requests and communicate with the database easily. The second objective was to understand the real-time communication between server and the client. Normally, the website update information only after refreshing. When we refresh the page, in modern application, user mostly expect the real-time update or instant updates. To achieve this, I learned Socket.io, which create a WebSocket connection between the client and the server. Whenever the restaurant update the order, the customer immediately receive the latest status without refreshing the page. The third objective was to understand the complete software development lifecycle, also known as SDLC. This includes planning the project, designing the software, writing the back-end and front-end code, testing the application, fixing bugs, and developing the project finally. We also learned how to organize code properly by separating controllers, routes, models, middlewares, and React components. Another important learning was to build a secure authentication model. I implemented a user login using JWT token and encrypted the password using bcrypt so that user information remain secure. Overall, this internship helped me to improve my programming skills, problem solving abilities, develop my debugging techniques, and confidence, and gained my confidence in developing full stack application. Now that we understand the objective, let's move to the problem that this project solves. The title name of this slide is Friction in Traditional Ordering. Uh, Now let us understand the problem that inspired me to build this real world application. Today many people prefer ordering food online because it is very fast and convenient. And however many food ordering systems still have several problems that affect both the customer and the restaurants. The very first major problem is that the lack of real-time updates. For example, after placing an order, often checking the application again and again because they don't know whether the restaurant had accepted their order or not. Sometimes they have to wait for the several minutes without any information. The second major problem is that the poor communication between the restaurants and the customers. If the restaurant is busy or is there any delay in preparing the food, the customer usually doesn't know what is happening. This creates confusion and reduces the customer satisfaction. Another major problem is the order management. A restaurant receives many orders at the same time. Without a proper system, it becomes difficult to manage all the orders efficiently. Sometimes sometimes that cause the order to become get delayed or missed. Security was also a major concern in this project. Food delivery applications store project details, personal details like names, email address, password, and order history. If the proper security is not implemented, user data may get vulnerable or get stolen. Keeping all this problem in mind, I developed a centralized real-time food delivery application. In my project, customers can browse the restaurant, search for the food item and add product to the carts, and can place orders very easily. This application also provides secure login using JWT authentication and password encryption using bcrypt. The most important feature is real-time order tracking. Whether the restaurant accepts the order Whenever the restaurant accepts the order or changes its status, the customer immediately receives the updated information without refreshing the page. This creates a better user experience and makes the ordering process smooth and efficient. That's all for this slide. Now let's move to the technologies that help me to build this powerful real world project. This project is built using MERN stack along with the socket.io. Now I will explain each technology one by one. The very first technology is MongoDB. MongoDB is basically no SQL database. Instead of storing the data in tables like SQL database, MongoDB stores the data as documents. I use MongoDB to store user account, restaurant information, menu items, shopping cart details, and customer orders. It is very flexible to use, fast and efficient, and suitable for modern web application. The second technology that I used is React Node.js. Node.js provides the runtime environment where the JavaScript code can run on the server. It allows the backend to process the multiple user requests efficiently. The third technology I used in this project is Express.js. Express.js is basically backend framework built on the top of Node.js. It makes the API development easier by handling rewards, middleware, and server logics. Using Express, I developed a API for login, sign up, restaurant menus, order, and many other features. Next comes the React.js. React is a JavaScript library used to build React interactive user interfaces. Instead of writing one large web page, React allows to divide the application into small reusable components. This makes the project organized, easier to maintain and use. React also uses Virtual DOM, which updates only the required part of the web page, making the application very faster and efficient. Finally and lastly, I use the Socket.io. Socket.io is one of the most important technology that I use in this project. Normally, when we open a website, communication happens only when a user sends a request or asks for the information. But Socket.io creates a continuous communication between client and the server. This allows the server to send update instantly whenever an order status changes. For example, when the restaurant changes the status order from pending to preparing, the customer immediately sees the update without refreshing its page. All these technologies work together to create a modern and efficient food delivery platform. Now let us understand how these technologies communicate inside the application. The title of this slide is System Architecture. This slide explains the architecture of my application. This application follows the and server client server architecture. On the one side we have the React frontend, and on the another side we have the Node.js and Express backend connected to the MongoDB database. Whenever the user open the application, React displays the interface, or we can say the front end, where the user can interact with the web application. If the user want to log in or view the restaurant, React sends a HTTP request to the Express server. The Express server receives the request, process it, and communicate with the MongoDB to fetch the information requested by the client. MongoDB returns the required data to the server. Finally, server sends the response back to the React application. This is known as React API communication. REST API, sorry, REST API communication. However, REST API are not enough for the building real-time applications. That's why I also implemented Socket.io. When a customer places an order, the server immediately sends a WebSocket event. This event reaches the server restaurant dashboard instantly, or we can say immediately. Similarly, when the restaurant accepts the order, another WebSocket event is sent to the customer. As a result, both users receive the updates in the real time or instantly. This architecture combines the advantages of REST APIs and WebSockets. REST APIs handle normal operations like login, registration, sign up, or we can say sign up, fetching restaurants, and updating the profiles. WebSocket handles the live order tracking, and notification. Using both technologies together, make the application efficient, responsive, and scalable. This architecture is commonly used in real-world applications where the instant communication is required between the client and the server. Now, I am going to explain how I implemented this project and the challenges that I faced. Now I am going to speak implementation details and the challenges. During this application, developing this application was excellent learning experience. I implemented many important features while also solving several technical challenges. For the state management, Apart from the technical skills, I also improve my problem solving ability, debugging skills, and project organization and understanding of the software development practices. If I continue working on this project in the future, I would like to add more advanced features. The very first feature would be live GPS tracking so the customer can see the delivery person location on the map. The second feature would be online payment integration using Razorpay or Stripe. I would also like to add the dedicated delivery partner module with route optimization. Another future enhancement is push notification so the customer receive update even when the application is closed. I also plan to develop a mobile application using React Native so the user can access the platform from Android and iOS devices. Overall, this project gave me confidence in developing real-world application and prepared me for future software engineering roles. I would like to sincerely thank the Webstack Academy internship team, my mentors, and my university for providing me this opportunity. Thank you all for listening to my presentation.